be glad when your car gets fixed.
So, are you gonna come inside or you wanna wait out here?
Who's this guy you're interviewing again?
Scott Camden. He saved a kid from the lake in City Park.
Sounds like a back page story. I think I'll wait in here.
Okay. Well, it shouldn't take too long.
All right.
Hello, is there anybody home?
Who's out there?
It's Todd Kent, the Daily Star. I left you a message about our interview today. My secretary told me that you called back and said it was okay to come by.
What paper did you say you were with again?
The Daily Star.
Oh, guess I didn't expect you so soon.
My apologies, I always arrive early for my interviews.
It's all right. Come on in. Come on in. You can have a seat. Can I get you something to drink or anything? We got some soft drinks.
No, I'll just have some water. Thanks.
What was it that you wanted to talk about?
Well, I'm sure you've told this story a couple of times now.
Well, I've told it plenty of times, but let's pretend like you're my first interview.
Oh, okay. What was going through your mind?
Todd, right?
Yes.
Why don't you just tell your tape recorder the basics, and I'll fill in the blanks for you.
Okay. I'm sitting here with Scott Camden, the man who saved a little boy from the lake in City Park, and I'm here to get the details, the bottom line, and all that. And I'm pretty sure that's all I know. So I guess I'll just start with. What brought you to the park that day?
It's a good thing this isn't live because you got to get your words straight. But anyway, I usually head to the city about every other weekend or so, and I always stop by the park. Sometimes I'll fish, sometimes I'll just kind of sit there and do nothing, but pretty much that day I was just burning daylight.
So at what point did you notice the boy?
Have you been to City Park before, Todd?
Yes.
Well, then you know they got the big lake in the middle, and then off to one side they have that big stone bridge with the gray stone and the walkway and everything. That's where I first saw the boy play, and he was torturing the ducks and skipping stones. He caught my eye because I was watching another couple kind of walk around the lake while I was sitting there, and the girl reminded me of somebody that I used to know. But as I was watching him to the bridge and I saw what the boy was doing, I was watching him, and he reared back and he tossed one of those things as hard as he could, and after he threw it, he tumbled right head over feet right off the bridge into the water. And the couple walking by, they noticed that he'd fallen in, and they just gave him a half glance or whatnot, and they kept walking. But I saw the way that he fell, and I knew that he had to be hurt. But right after he fell in was pretty much when I got up and ran over there and pulled him out.
Just like that?
Just like that. You see, Todd, there's people in this world that go from situation to situation, and they'll do what's best, but it doesn't always work out, but it has for me. So rest is history. Well, I guess that about wraps it up, huh?
Oh, I just have a few more questions if you don't mind. Oh, is that your wife?
My wife?
I'm sorry. I just assumed that you were married. Am I keeping you from company?
You kinda are, so why don't we could finish this maybe on the phone again, perhaps?
It'll just be one more quick minute. So, do you have any lifeguard training or any history of rescues?
Nah, no man. I just acted on impulse.
Wow, I think he was pretty lucky then.
I'd say so. Fortunate. But wouldn't you have done the same in a similar situation?
I mean, I'd like to think that I would have.
Have you ever been in a situation like that?
I don't want to waste any of your time with that.
Come on, Todd. I live for stories.
Okay. There is an accident. You know, it involved me and 4 other cars. I wasn't hurt, but I called 911 immediately, and I mean I could see how bad it was just through the window. So I got out the car, and all the traffic behind me had stopped, and it was really quiet. The car that was in front of me was upside down, and the windows were intact, but they were shattered, and you know, it was dark, so I couldn't really see inside the car. But I could see a pool of blood forming at the base of the car. So, you know, I really wanted to help. It's that, you know, I couldn't take that first step. So the next thing I know, a paramedic is waking me up, and you know, they're telling me that I probably blacked out from the accident, but I just know it was probably because I freaked out about what I had seen.
So you don't care for the sight of blood, do you?
I don't like to see the person bleed that much. It's just the image in my head.
So you'd say, Todd, that your impulses failed you then?
Yeah, I guess they did.
Todd, let me tell you, from my own experience, impulses are like long-term reflexes. When you look back on what happened, you wonder, you know, what took control of you. Why did you do what you did? But the key to it is to embrace your impulses. Embrace your impulses, and you will survive.
Wow, you're a true hero. That will actually make a really good quote for your article.
True, it probably would, but that one's for you too. So
you mentioned the couple next to you.
Yeah, well, this will only take a minute. Hey, Todd. Let's finish this interview. Come on, Todd, your friend out there, you can save him. He's not dead. Come on out, give me your information, and that'll be the end of it. I know you ain't gonna talk. Go around to the front, shoot him through the window if you have to. Come on, Todd, I know you're not gonna talk. I'm not normally this generous. I'm gonna give you to the count of 3 to come out of there, or I'm coming in. You hear me? 1. 2. Is there someone in there? Come out of my house right now or I'll shoot you. Come on out.
I'm coming out.
Who are you?
My name's Todd Kennel. Can I work
Are you
for
with
the
him?
No!
Are you with him?
No!
I understand that you were not on the scene until the gunshots were heard. Could you tell me a little bit about what happened that day in that house?
Yeah, sure. Like you said, when I heard the gunshot, that's where I went across the street, went inside. The doors were both open. Went inside, and that's where I found Scott and the other 2 guys who were dead. I knew the wife, that Scott's wife and kid were usually home around that time. I looked everywhere inside for them, couldn't find them anywhere. I went outside the back door, and that's where I saw that the other 2 vehicles that were there, one of which did have the other reporter in it. In the other vehicle, it's where he had put the body of the wife, but I did find her in there, and also the daughter. She was actually put in a duffel bag, took her out of there, brought her across the street, and that's where I called the police.
The reporters that were there that day, they were good friends of mine, good people. But it was a good thing that you were able to find that little girl to bring that light to that dark moment.
Yeah, I embrace my impulses.
You're a true hero.